their mothers, it's got to be through the roof. Do you have anything to say?
So guys, I'm trying to watch this stuff on here. I don't know how great my network is to stream it from my PlayStation. Yeah, so was playing like for some that sounds like it. Or it's because I started streaming. That's the reason why I stopped. Am I not allowed to stream? Oh, but I can hear the background sound. Oh, you know what? Let's. Okay, I know what. I think I have. If I do this, I don't think I'll be able to stream. Let me see. Oh. Oh. Okay. Hold on. But I hope my stream's still working. Where is it? I was watching it like just now. Yeah.
Then protective for Gen G, focusing towards that, whereas VP wanted to focus around that Loki early on. We talked about with other teams how strong Loki can be on Convoy Convergence. You just saw the power of Loki in the last map. You talked about Skittles, and it looks like VP want that one-sided Loki as they go for that counter ban. But with how good Magneto is, that feels a bit interesting. That's definitely relying on that front to back very heavy.
Yeah, that's a smart ban. I think I'm loving what I'm seeing here from Gen G. I think Magneto's super strong on this map. Duep's been disgusting on that hero. It was matched back very well, but to remove it on this map, which has been a priority for teams, is definitely different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. And I think that it kind of solves the same sort of issue, right? Like both teams going for that front-to-back style, at least with the Loki. I know you want to play potentially Gambit, but it looks like Gen G have adapted. They don't really care about playing Gambit on this map. They're more focused on that one-sided Invisible Woman, which happens. I feel like that's more up-to-date with the meta than what VP is currently doing.
Yeah, I think this is just deemed her map at this point. I'm seeing the major bans, the major locks here because you can off-angle well with Widow with that damage boost. And Invicious plays great here. Obviously, the boundary takes up a huge majority of the space. There's not a lot of off-angles that you really have to deal with.
These guys are
aggro with it, jumping forward, throwing that boundary on top of their head and just collapsing on them.
Yeah, absolutely, and they go for that thing, one-sided thing. Meanwhile, the group gets
They're
banned
banning
on the side of VP, which means we might see some potential Penny Parker gameplay that we've seen previously, but we haven't seen it of Gen G. They didn't want to focus on it on domination, maybe a bit more worried about it. The last ban, does Gen G go for the one-sided Penny Parker? They're hovering it. Yes! Oh my goodness, Penny Parker gets banned against VP. And to me, what this reads like is a very good ban phase out of Gen G.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the removal of Groot and forcing the group ban early is you know, a testament to Zensari playing very well. VP, I'll have to see what the comp they want to run here. It looks like it's going to be very brawly with potentially Sparker over there. Actually changing up in the moment. We'll see what they run out the door with. But I'm excited to see this matchup as we are seeing that new meta comp from the side of Gen G.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen these veterans for one of their games,
guys
but I
now
think I like them.
to see. We do have the Mac ban for VP, but they get a bunch of different heroes banned as well. Maybe they're right. Into this certain situation, they have a few different characters that they definitely can play. Regardless, we'll have VP starting out on the attacking side. And for Gen G, they will be on defense, more than likely running that triple composition. Taking a look at the former champions, the reigning champions, looking to capitalize again by the end of the year. We're still at that mid-season point, but $500,000 on the line is no small amount.
I believe that's Monstro from Fantastic 4-1 early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Gen G up 1 in the series right now, and Monstro, as you mentioned, looking angry.
Looking forward to seeing the comps here. Obviously, the attacking team has the ability to change right prior, but I believe that's what we're going to see out the door. And you see what Gen G is running here. This is the new mainstay of defense. This quote-unquote new meta that looks incredibly strong as we head into a tech pause.
Yeah, tech pauses happen sometimes, and I'm curious what the issue is. I'm sure we'll go into it in a little bit. Regardless, Gen G running the comp that we saw Navi just play and dominate with, right? Over 100 Thieves in the last series. I know that VP's a different team. Same thing with Gen G. Regardless, that is a very dominant comp that we saw out of Navi last game.
Yeah, see, I was curious to know exactly what the Penny team up was going to be selected. Obviously, I always knew the Black Panther team up was very strong, but that just seems to be the go-to every time. It's not going to be the double spawner. You protect your spawner much better with that shield, and you get the attack speed boost. It makes it far more threatening in 1v1s.
Absolutely does, and you know, I think based on composition, what we've seen, you'd like assume that's going to be very good. But yeah, right now, VP are dealing with some issues, I imagine, as they walk out the spawn door. I wonder what they're going to play. I mean, you saw for a moment the Storm stuff. What's your thoughts so far on that? Is it easier to break the Penny Parker stuff with it?
Yeah, that's the goal. You stay on height, and you look for spawner early, and then you damage boost across the board, especially something like the Bucky from Sparker. You know how threatening that can be, and that extra damage is a little bit too much. And truth be told, Thing damage boost now, especially when he's able to use that Johnny Storm team up, it's a nuisance. It is tough to handle in the front line. Emma plays decently into it, but the team is not electing to do that. Instead, they're going to use the giant sword of Magneto to beat down the rock.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of King Arthur. No, who's the guy that pulls up the sword? Excalibur.
I think it is King Arthur. You nailed it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I got both in the same story. Okay. I mean, that's like, regardless, that's the opposite, right? Because you have to pull the sword out. What happens if you destroy the rock that the sword is in with the sword itself? That is like some Inception type stuff.
As we start up the map here. Now, folks, let's see what it looks like with this composition. The BRB being set up in the back corner. I like that decision. Walking out the door now. Scared a little bit of that spot. Alex finds the first pick on a Finzi, who reses back in. Duep, another pick on a Pi, who will not come back into the fight.
And Duep finding another one, and you mentioned Alex at the very beginning. We have to mention again for Salvation coming in as a sub. Audible mentioned himself. That's one of the best subs you get in the damn game, as FMCL's already 60% towards that Kraken impact. Jojo's doing a ton of healing, as you saw in that fight. Already up to that. See you later.
Yeah, forced to play slow, trying to find a pull. That's a great idea. Just play around the spawner. This comp is so threatening, especially on this map, and them banning it out is just a very big brain play. I like to see it. And Virtus Pro still unable to move really here.
Yeah, already forcing out the greens. I think that's why. Well, we see actually incoming. See you later from Dridger. Do they play slow? Wait for FMCL's ultimate.
Yeah, you may say, oh, they didn't get a pick. That's not valuable. They got the space, though. Turn that corner. That's all they were looking for. Get through that location. Force a reset up here. And so we're seeing Kraken Impact comes in onto the front line of the Emma of Finzi. That does not land the Sia again, this time from Saipe. Finzi gets the first pick on a Zen Starry, and Virtus Pro are walking after the match back from FMCL.
Is Nevis too far, by the way? No, he just did BRB. This is the difference between the two teams as well, is that we'd have that Rocket Raccoon on offense, not on defense. You'd see some teams get picks and then fall back with that BRB, but there's a lot of space created by VP, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and Alex is just trying to farm that ult to be able to do the same thing here. Bobo does have that ult available. Duep hits the sky. Will this Meteor M land? It does not. There's the Rage of Ultron, and wow! I don't know how the backline was able to keep Finzi up there, but really well played as Bobo tries to get that pick, and it does not work out.
Yeah, low-key, I kind of like how Navi played this map instead of Gen G so far, with the fact that they don't have, instead of Invisible Woman, that Rocket Raccoon, to the fact you can do BRBs, but nice pull, the Force Physics, just kidding. Brought him back into the mines. Bobo shuts down Finzi. There's no BRB to bring him back to.
Yeah, setting up once again, retaking this space around the corner. This is exactly what they're looking for. I love that attack from VP, but they weren't able to close out, and now it's going to be very difficult to get through those reses here from Alex.
This is slowly dwindling. Can they find the pick with it? The res, like you said, going to be in play. Here comes the Kraken impact on the offense from Sparker, but do they get the resets?
Oh, Sparker gets two here, but the Golden God's gonna bring back all of them. A huge res here, playing for res up the Quadra of Sparker, forcing out two ults though for one as a win. Now the boundary to keep the team healthy through 5, the Omega Hurricane.
The healing was too much there. They had both the Kraken and the Storm ultimate, could not find the KO. Now it's coming back onto them. Taipei with the coffee, has it, throws out the Sia, but Sparker's already down. Wow. The BRB too.
This is insane. Duep's gonna get a second. Nevix comes back into the fight. Number's still up here for Gen G with a minute available. The Sia goes out here from Saipe, but nobody falls.
Saipe, one of the best Lokis in the game, but cannot save Pi, who went too far, and they have no BRB. Well, actually, just kidding. Dridger will bring him back. Nevix is still gone after to the Golden God himself, Alex.
Yeah, I believe that means off of using that Sia through another BRB, and that's why Rocket was able to have another. So maybe why you're a little stuck there. That was a tricky one. So we see Bobo jumping backwards and trying to maintain this corner. But again, I just think that Gen G are playing so well right now. They do have ult advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get that one-sided Penny Parker. I think at this point, that character can be so dominant. FMCL with the hook. Does he find that bionic hook on the right side? The answer is no, but he's kept alive, of course, by Ultron in the sky.
And we're gonna see the shield come out, present Starry, Meteor M goes up. Crystals get forced, trying to burn those fast here, but oh wow, Duet was still able to find one. I don't even know where that thing went, but the rest does come through from Dreedro. So many backs and forths here in terms of these reses.
Yeah, they gotta find picks. They find Bobo in the sky, nothing to bring him back again. FMCL does have that Kraken impact and has to go big, but the See You Later is here. Are we gonna disengage or try to break it?
VP might as well be very persistent, even down a number, bounce back, and now they're up, using ults to commit, dropping forward. FMCL gonna be stuck in falls, and here comes the res now, or excuse me, the portal from Bobo. They do have a huge ult opportunity from FMCL these next 5 seconds.
Portal coming through, 4 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter, body block. We're there, we're touching, but Bobo falls, and they cap out. VP's in a second point.
Yeah, VP, really well done. That was solid play. Needed to clutch up right there, and they did, but that was a ton of time off the clock. 2 minutes and 20 seconds here for point 2, with a spawn that's very close to the door here for Gen G. Will they be able to hold?
I still kind of like what VP are doing now. They've moved by off of Storm over to Psylocke, which is interesting, so losing a little bit of that damage boost for Sparker, only relying on that See You Later from Saipe and others. FMCL looking to switch over to the Ultron, so it's Bobo going off of it over to the Black Widow.
Yeah, gonna be able to try to farm some of that front line with no shield. That's the idea here. Bond gets committed. Now Bobo using some of that invisible shield. Trying to deal a little extra damage at the moment with the Johnny team up, but still both teams kind of stalled.
Well, there's gonna be less cover too in this sort of main side, so I kind of like the idea of going to Black Widow instead. Invis boundary forced early by Skittles. They waited out in terms of VP side, but is any get picked? Zen Story on the flank on Penny Parker.
You never would have heard that until this season. Oh, the Psionic, and that is a huge ult from Sparker with the Glartrox, and mine's almost gonna pick there, but well played here by Virtus Pro, who are just using this momentum, and they still have a minute 20.
This is getting messy. You have to up towards the car. Alex goes for the Karmic Revival. Will bring back actually the Penny Parker.
Oh, they're playing for res. Yep, that makes a lot more sense here.
No, but the Penny didn't get rezzed, I believe. She was too far away, so Zen Story's not brought back. Has to walk back from spawn.
Does have ult available. Not the strongest of ults, but you can set up early. You see that overhealth. Now you're just gonna play around and bang. Duet's gonna find Nevix with a huge Meteor M.
It's a massive Meteor M like he did hit before. You called it out before. See You Later used in the main side. FMCL trying to disengage it. They never want to try to break it. They just want a full high.
FMCL hits the height here. Rage of Ultron, and that's still going to find Sparker with some help from Duet, and the retake is very real with 40 seconds on.
Yeah, at this rate, I mean, we talked about how good Duet can be on Magneto. He's living it up on the hero at the moment. Nice job to bring him back with the BRB, though, from Dreedro.
Yo, sorry, chat, sorry.
There goes that dance. Been a minute since we've seen the dance of the butterfly. Fi making that shift now, trying to find and track lightly Alex. Make sure those reses don't get as valuable. You have driven backwards, but they need to force this touch in a moment to get there. And oh, Virtus Pro trying to sneak this thing in. Can they? No. Duet gets there with 3 meters on. Bobo on the off angle, trying to find Fi. Will that work out? The spawner's there, but not for long. They're invisible, and it falls as Finzi. Sparker finds it starting.
Yeah, they're just getting picked apart. No, Stratos Ultra moving to the third phase, and at this point, the difference in terms of, I think, composition is obviously apparent, but it doesn't end up mattering because Gen G are AFK. Dude, they're literally not doing anything right now compared to what we saw in the last series. Again, not to bring it up once more, but Gen G are not playing aggressive like we saw at Na'Vi. They're making plays.
Nope.
Gen G are trying to
disengage,
and it's not working out.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've seen in the past.
This guy don't
Teams that look so
push
strong on point 1 with this composition, try to run it on point 2 and 3, and just kind of fall over. I think Virtus Pro are just taking advantage of that. They've got heavy momentum, and they have ult advantage. Playing so well together, looking like the team that we know and love.
Bro, I want to stream it, please. Nobody should
now trying to farm up that
I'm streaming that, baby.
On the off angle, the Sia and the Boundary are out, as well as the Bond. Might be a little bit too much there from the side here of Gen G. Trying to maybe panic a moment.
So get a 1-for-1, but now Dreedro with the See You Later going to go aggressive again for Alex. If he still has the Karmic Revival in a moment, or the passive to come back and use it, needs to be big.
Oh, that was almost a nice shot. Sia really well timed there from Dreedro to keep the team up, as FMCL tries to match back with the Rage of Ultron, but still, that just wasn't that valuable.
Well, they keep giving up space. That's the worry right now, is that VP have their pedal to the metal, and he's looking for one. Sparker does find FMCL. Duet trades it.
Max I can get from it. Give me 10 ATP now.
Parker does find FMCL. Duet trades it.
We're going to bring Nevix back in, so even more numbers up as Alex now commits with the Karmic Revival. Everybody's back in. Skittles and Duet fall instantly, though. Back in with the res here from that Golden God who's likely going to bond them up and move them forward.
Again, we haven't played aggressive with the Penny Parker, though these mines aren't doing anything on the inside. Bobo on the left flank. Can he find a KO? The answer is no.
Yeah, we'll see how Crystals, though, is a cooldown they're definitely going to be happy about, but that was not the ult that Bobo was looking for. I might have lied there as FMCL cleans up Nevix. Trying to look at that front line from downtown once more. Duet, but that time does not land Alex instead. Both front line from Virtus Pro are going to fall, and that could be it for the OT. They do not get point 3.
Excellent hold towards the very end for Genji. This was stabilized with that ultimate from Bobo, like you say, for the side of VP, though. That's still quite far. I mean, that looked a lot better.
Like most of the time, I've played down
and, you know, we've always heard VP is a very good domination team, but with the, I guess, not reduction in dive, but necessarily how you play it, this is a team that's very good against Penny Parker and stuff. If you're going to AFK, you have to be proactive if you play this composition, which maybe Zen Starry's just picking it up recently in the past couple weeks. Could have played it, you know, in ranked or whatever, but obviously you can see he's not as comfortable as Trust Me and that crew of Na'Vi.
Yeah, and Sparker is just on another level right now. 15 finals here, 24-3 on these off angles. Saipe hasn't gone down a single time, and neither has Dreidra. That is insane. Really great positioning, and also a testament to not only great positioning, but it just seems like there's not a lot of threat in that backline at all. Maybe the lack of dive here, the less pressure is allowing him to just keep that front line up.
Well, I mean, there's a famous saying in the VGC community, I believe, from a guy named Wolfie. It's world champ buff. And right now, VP look like they have it because Genji are getting a little bit nervous. You know, they get that first round. It's on a map. It's on domination. You could get upsets on domination like we saw. So can Genji stabilize on their attack?
We're going to look at what they want to run out the door for now. Keep that to ourselves at this moment as Virtus Pro is setting up. You can see their decision making, and we're seeing a lot of that Jubilee coming to fruition. We talked about the damage boost in the blind, and I really do think that is when we're going to see Jubilee.
Yeah, she really seems like a better cloak and dagger right now at the moment. And like you said, forward, hold, even without the penny, you still want to hold here.
Yeah, it's really all about this ability right here. Play inside and stay healthy. Turn it on the enemy if you need to. And they're playing right at the door here. Bond goes out early. There's going to be that healing buff. Dreidro's doing a great job just keeping everyone full in terms of HP.
Yeah, and Genji need to get some off angles or something to find this back line to get rid of them. They don't have to worry about penny mines either, so they could play, you know, something a bit different, like, you know, something a bit diver, maybe a Black Cat or whatever we've seen out of FMCL. Instead, they're going for that triple strat comp, which you don't, I mean, usually see on offense.
Bolo going to be using the attack speed boost here, the limited ammo as the decision. We've seen a lot of the DD team up, so.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, like, you have to walk away from it. You see the DD team up because they can pierce through these Vanguards, so, I mean, I guess from what we've seen, it's the better team up in terms of the Daredevil team up with Punisher instead of the Rocket Reckoning.
I don't mind it with no shields on the field, though. Curious to see if it's going to work out. We'll keep our eyes on, and it took Virtus Pro a Sia in order to move forward. Will it be the same story here for Genji, who now commit with the Sia? And there's that judgment now. The Sia's backwards. Then Starry finds Sparker, and that's going to be a second pick, likely here. Good movement, able to use that crystal, and finally falls. Not understanding if they're actually down just yet. Bobo looking at the board again. Once more, that Comfort Revival.
Yeah, we're going to enter a long team fight if Sparker builds his. Duet trying to find two, and he does.
I don't love it, though. I mean, you heard the Born Again, right? Like, they're right back in the fight now. It was a huge ult, but now they just reset as a unit, and you force another ult out here. Finzi going to be using that Ironwood and gets drawn by Phi, and Zenstari does the same.
Sparker's got the ultimate too for the upcoming fight, and they could rotate ultimates to a nasty degree. Clobbering time, we lose one.
Here we go, FMCL. Oh man, he gets caught in it. What a huge play here from Finzi. The strangling prison. Sparker has that ult available too as Saipe brings him back from this comp is too much.
Yeah, this is getting nasty. Genji on the back foot to an extreme degree. They just lost also Alex ultimate from the previous fight. We've seen how strong Adam Warlock is on these off angles too. So BP looking alive here and today with this composition. Only 2 minutes left to clock for Genji, though. You talked about the time bank mattering a ton. But again, this Gambit stuff, it's just not working versus triple alongside the Loki that we led through.
Yeah, this is just too much reset. I mean, you win so much if they force a bunch of ults out with Karmic Revival, and you have one available again, and they have nothing to use here for Genji. Virtus Pro on this defense are just so smart. It just makes so much sense here. They still haven't even turned that around this bend.
And they're feeling cocky. They're feeling confident for sure. Sparker didn't even use the Karmic Revival to bring back Nevix. He's coming back from spawn, so I think it's brought back. Same thing with Dreidra in a moment.
Yeah, they're just playing for res now. Get on that point, stall it, reset as a unit as everyone's back in the fight once again. Skittles with the Sia is what they're looking for, but Redro and Saipe ready with ults, and there you go, moving forward off the back, and then even through Skittles Sia. Duet comes back for the BRB. Bobo and FMCL, it's all about the duelists here. Saipe can match back with an answer.
He's not feeling like he can go for MCL. Goes for the reset. Karmic, or sorry, Soul Bond used though. Here comes that meteor, and he's down!
Wow, what a shot.
He's gonna be thrown back by his own passive because Saipe went for the comp. Wait, no, he doesn't. Never mind, just kidding.
Wow, good follow-up. No, that was a great call. There it is, a cover run. Can they stop it? No, they can't! They're all back! Saipe gonna bring the entire team back, using that natural cover for the moment, and the fight is reset once again.
Oh my god, Nevix has the clobbering time too, but he goes down! He's not gonna be in the fight!
Finzi, Bobo's able to find 2 here. Zenstarry now on to 5. Bobo once more, and point 1 will be theirs unless this portal is enough. No, it's canceled.
Canceled like me after this tournament ship. Insane take by Gen G. And finally, they can breathe a sigh of relief, but they have so far to go. That's what we talked about with VP, why we're talking them up on their attack. It's so hard to get as far as they did in the map. 125 meters is no joke.
Full comp switch here from VP too. I love to see that. That makes a lot of sense. I think teams are kind of getting locked into a comp on this map, and it really is a different map on point 2 and 3. It plays totally different. Far less single lane focus here, but Bobo trying to find that first pick. Alex does have Raging Royal Flush available, and I do believe it would be in their best interest to use this early, try to find an early pick.
And Nevis getting poked out by the Delsa. Doesn't have also Snowflake, because you usually see the Angela alongside the Luna. He finds the right one. Finzi goes down.
Yeah, Bobo now able to clean that up, but yeah, off that Raging Royal Flush early, like we talked about, Alex is able to find Nevix, and they are walking, taking this space. A minute 48 on, and they might get up on the top of this ramp. It's going to be a tough fight here, as VP making even more switches, as Fi now is going to be on that sideline.
A great call out, Chip. So many counter switches happening. This is a little uncommon, I would say, in that department with all these minor changes between team competitions.
There you go with the Raging Royal Flush back at him from VP. Can they find a pick here? That could be huge. Playing on top of the spawner. The Glartrox goes out as well. No picks come through as the boundary's there. Fi has to drop back, and Bobo gets the first pick here on the Nevix, and now a number's up. Oh, there's going to be a huge Glartrox from Sparker. Crystals go out, and Fi cleans up too. What a play.
Yeah, they're still playing so, like, just honestly together. Like, it just feels like they make the right plays at the right times as a unit. You're still doing the things we saw out of the grand finals last year, combining ultimates together on VP's side. And I'm wondering if they can close out over Gen G now, who have a minute left to go. Basically 2 fights minimum for that squad, unless they take too long.
Finzi with the Sonic Seduction, Meteor M, and the Rage of Ultron are what we're keeping eyes out for now. Saipe, Raging Royal Flush. Okay, there's a commitment now to take space here with the Sonic Seduction. Meteor M trying to match that back. Duet finds Fi after Fi gets the pick on the backline of Skittles. Also, that trade is in VP's favor. FMCL walks forward. Bobo now on the Nevix. Now numbers up for them. Can they use this to their advantage and take point 2? Oh, what the Royal Flush back, but it's a little too late as Finzi goes down.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're swapping to a comp that I thought before looked.
Oh, my goodness, Bobo. Somebody stop him.
I mean, he's full impact, full target focus on Fi. That's 4 in the fight for Bobo. Have to deal with the Venom now, who gets trapped, but he goes down to Duep in this tandem between the two.
Bobo seeing the net code right now, 1s and 0s. The guy is just not missing. What a play there to gain point 2, but it is still a very far push for a minute 25. VP absolutely can still hold this here.
It's a great point, Chip. I mean, this bear is just an absolute mountain to climb. It's that they have the momentum, like you said, but do they have the mental resilience to keep this up as the
early portal? Yeah, there it is. Here goes the fight now. Finzi playing off that portal. They're going to take this spot, try to buy even more time, but goes down quickly. Bobo finds that pick, and I like the idea of this play to stall. And now you're going to lose a little alt charge there. Zenstarry trying to spread some of these mines. Raging Royal Flush now from Alex. Will that be enough to move them forward? And they drop back into the portal. Really well played by VP.
That was funny, but you're right. Forced out ultimates, Zenstarry, Alex committing theirs. You can see the last second portal that felt like something out of a Marvel movie, literally. Yeah. Just quickly showing up for a moment, a giant rock. It's back into the portal as it disappears. 30 seconds left to go, Shiv. Last fight territory now, basically, as both teams have their Glartrox and Vanguard ults.
Look at the Glartrox. Who is hungrier here? Who is ready to feast, Sparker or Bobo? This could be game-winning, but now by Nevix, Dreedro. There are so many ults to be committed here from VP, the copy from Dreedro now, walking them forward with a Royal Flush. Will there be an answer back? Lartrox gets launched, but I don't believe he gets much. Bobo gets one. Bai trades it with FMCL. It's gonna be a Vanguard for a strategist, though. And holy moly.
How did he live?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
It's huge on the front line. Tries to somehow shut it down, but it doesn't matter. Sidebay and Sparker clean those up. Numbers are ahead now, and they are following up here. Can the portal get there for the retake? It's gonna put him in a dicey spot, though.
It will. I mean, it's just getting nerve-wracking. Overtime slowly dwindles. VP have control of the cart too. They have to keep touching. Luckily, this cart is going to give you a bit of space to move around. But if they get off for a second, if you get out of that water fountain in the middle, it's all over.
Yeah, and it's very tough here. FMCL falls. They're trying to still. They gotta get on the point as they almost forgive, and no, that should do it here. VP Hall of a 4.3.
It's the world champ Diff coming back to bite Gen G in the ballskis, as right now it's tied up 1-1. We enter that third crucial map that can decide if either of these teams move on in the upper brackets.
Going the distance, my friend. This has been beautiful Marvel Rivals back and forth.
It really has, and it will continue to be so, as the very first game is living up to expectations, I would say, in the upper bracket. However, for Gen G, they're maybe not even expected to be here, right? It feels like maybe people were underestimating how Gen G looked behind the scenes in the scrims. The fact they won the first map is huge, but should we always know, Compo and Convergence feel very similar in terms of how they play.
I mean, there's so much to look at. 21 finals from Bobo, and then Sparker with 19, right up there with him. Just so much back and forth, and it's a very smart play. And we talked about that defensive side from the side of Gen G. I liked their composition, but again, I think it just took them too long to make that rotation.
Yes, and that's why you still have to play the games, right?
Yeah.
Because no matter if you theoretically have a better composition, it doesn't matter if you don't have the coordination that VP does. You saw them making plays with the Psylocke. That was like, I feel like old VP with Fi and Sparker working together.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge problem, I'll tell you that. Some huge ultimates, but we're going to dive more into this information with our analyst desk. How about you take it away, Tetra?
Thank you very much, Shiv and Dogman. Whoa. Whoa.
We have a series.
We really, really do. We were talking about it. Teams that have taken maps off of Virtus Pro are few and far between our reigning champions. And that looks like, for a bit, Gaskin, that could have been a 2-0.
And potentially should have been a 2-0 if we look at it in a different eyeline as well, because realistically, Gen G had all the pieces they would have wanted to win that game. Virtus Pro, you have to give them the credit for clutching up. Maybe Gen G kind of threw it a little bit at the end, and perhaps the pressure got on side of them. But I think their ban phase was fantastic. I think they were really able to take it to VP. Maybe VP learned a lesson in that first map as well and had to adapt, knowing they weren't going to be able to play the strategy that they've been employing for so long.
I really want to dive into Gen G's bans a little bit there. You said that they came out a little bit ahead. In particular, Ultron getting removed in that first map. It was kind of big.
I think that's what happens when you are succeeding in scrims, right? Virtus Pro, all the talk has been about the Penny Ultron meta and how they're the ones pioneering it, and how they've been dominating scrims. Well, suddenly, you are going to be the focus point, you are going to be studied, and Gen G did exactly that. They were able to find the bans, and then they played it themselves and showed us how to do it as well. And even though we did see Virtus Pro answer back in this second map, I do think Gen G, they are really putting on a show for us here.
I completely agree, but I also have to talk about the bans a little bit for this map specifically. Invis, second time in a row we've seen a team prioritize a one-sided ban the other team instead of the Adam Warlock. What are we doing? The res is so crucial for the full hold strategy, and it worked really well for Virtus Pro.
It gave them so many revives. Like, yes, Gen G were able to break it, but Saipei with the clones on the Adam Warlock was instrumental to the amount of hold that Virtus Pro could do. But something we do want to talk about, we're talking about like players who have been instrumental for the versatility of Bobo. That's it.
It's been, yeah, exactly. Like, the versatility of Bobo is insane. We saw them even swap to the White Fox at the end there as well. We saw some Punisher from their side too. We saw Ultron as well. We saw so much from Bobo, even getting a Penta on the Elsa towards the end. But the big thing here I got to talk about is it felt like when they were going for the attacking side themselves, Bobo is their Storm player, FMCL playing the Bucky towards the end. It might have been better if FMCL could have pulled out the Storm so they had the extra damage boost to get them past the hurdle of Virtus Pro. It felt like that was the difference maker between these teams, at least in the first point.
We've got to see Psylocke as well. Psylocke coming into the fray. I'm sure there's a lot of Psylocke mains at home saying, finally, she's back on my screen. But it showed. I mean, the dance of the butterfly actually at the end there, being able to just stagger that one single hero, really made the difference to try and win that one.
I want to bring up something you said earlier and sort of dance off of what you just said here. We saw a lot of people, and we were talking about it earlier, there's been a lot of hype from a lot of the players around Virtus Pro potentially bringing in this Ultron Penny setup here. The impact of scrims here, it seems when Virtus Pro were forced off it, they struggled, but in that second round, they did fine. There's a lot of impact coming in on scrims. Tell me about it.
Yeah, winning scrims doesn't always mean you're going to find success going into the tournament. As I mentioned, you get studied by everyone, you become the focus point. Alternatively, you can just do terribly in scrims, but you are learning a lot. Scrims don't always tell you exactly what you need. It's a chance to practice things. People also don't play the best in scrims. They play a little bit differently because there's less on the line. So Virtus Pro perhaps learning that a little bit here, but the fact they were able to adapt so quick in map 2 and now find themselves going into this map 3. But remember, map 3 is now Genji's choice, so they are still having the advantage here.
Vod, I do want to quickly ask you, Hall of Jarly, this is a map that has been a little traumatic for Virtus Pro in the past, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've seen Hall of Jarly, you know, be a point of contention against this team as well. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't go to a Central Park, but I think that's because of the penny comp that's been going so well for this Virtus Pro. That's the one map that actually not be dropped during stage 1, so they probably don't want to go to the comfort zone for that. But seeing the Gambit be saved here for VP, they knew it would be banned this go around because they let it through the ban draft during the contemplation. The Gambit and Loki combo is too good.
Something you brought up during the break, Vod, that I will bring up here. Gen.G are one map away from doing something that no other team has done before. Knock Virtus Pro to the lower bracket, and they are putting a lot of that faith into do it once again as they protect that Magneto.
Yeah, they're all coming.
I just wonder what the focus is going to be here. I'm glad that they're getting rid of the Loki. We saw how effective that was with the copies of the Adam Warlock, the copies of the Gambit ults here and there. The one-sided thing, though, is something I did want to bring up. Because of the Gambit Magneto team up towards the end, being right outside the portal, having that kind of dispossession of anyone going through it, it did not allow them to find a foothold outside of it. So they were panicking, trying to get towards the objective. It did not work. If they had thing, they could have at least help themselves
guys
with the
are
damage
banning
there as well.
mostly healers.
Virtus Pro going to give
They
over
ban
a
healers.
Gambit as well, because obviously they protected their Gambit, haven't banned it. And it seems like with the Ultron ban now coming through, they are saying, look, we're happy for you to play Gambit. This was something we were mentioning at the start as well. Like, without your Gambit player, Salvation being there, when Alex picking it up, we did see Alex, he stepped up to the plate, but they did just lose that match, as now you will see the Thing Protect. I do love Thing Protect. I do love a one-sided Thing. I think Thing is arguably the most oppressive hero we have in the game at the moment if you don't know how to deal with him. So I think that that is a fantastic ban phase for Virtus Pro here.
I think you might be right. We're down to our last ban here for Gen.G. We've seen them ban Ultron previously. We've seen them ban Penny directly. And there goes the Ultron. The Ultron enables Adam. It enables Penny. The extra healing and damage boost has been very instrumental. Gaskin, this is the final map of this series. Who you got?
I'll still go with Virtus Pro, but it doesn't feel good. Gen.G look fantastic.
Odd same to you.
I have to also go with Virtus Pro after the just performance they put on in Museum of Contemplation. They got this.
It's time to find out if Virtus Pro will finally be sent down to a lower bracket. Sherbet Dogman, please take it away.
And here we go. 1-to-1 series, first to 2, best of 3. Will Virtus Pro come back, or will Gen.G be able to bounce back on their map of choice?
1-to-1, I think, is in this quarterfinals. I mean, back in the playing stage, I guess it makes sense because there's so many teams that are competitive with each other. Also, a limited pool, 3 squads. Had an insane playing stage, but on the main stage, in the playoffs in the upper bracket to keep that advantage, they take us to Orange Challen. Right now, VP, I think, have the edge in terms of that momentum.
You know what's better than 1 life is 2, right? You want to make sure you stay on that upper side of the bracket. Getting down to the bottom is going to make your team even more nervous. It's tough to play at your best when your back is against the wall. And here goes an early portal play from Virtus Pro.
You see the nice Deadpool skin, the Parker team bundle, VP coming out. First time this series, I believe, to have a little bit of Van Pool, so it's nice to see esports representation with Finzi rocking that classic orange alongside the Deadpool red.
Finds the first pick there onto Skittles, and that is a huge start because that's going to be the Luna, the main line of the back line. As Alex trades that back, though, says not up in here. Then Sparker takes out FMCL. It's a trade fest. It's a nice spawn swap. Typically what you want to do is simply switch position if they're going to dive your back line like that.
Yeah, usually we see a lot of these Deadpools kind of play a little bit slower. He swaps over to Luna because his total plays coming through. Zenstari goes down. He's got the ultimate too on the side of Finzi, first one in the game.
Bobo goes incredibly low. Escapes for the moment, tries to get away, but immediately with the banhammers, he's still holding on. Sparker takes out Skittles, though I don't know how Bobo is still healthy after that, but great play.
An absolute magician. I mean, if he were to find a pick here, that'd be huge. Nevix does go low, but too much healing output. He can't double kick him. Unfortunately, that means we're headed to the second phase as Virtus Pro cap out 5 minutes. Excellent time bank for VP to work with.
Incredibly fast. That early pick was pretty much everything there on the Skittles in the back line. So Virtus Pro on that portal play, bringing us back to Season 1, but exactly what they needed to.
See if they can keep it up too. I mean, they've got ultimates in a moment, and Gen G maybe feeling a bit of the pressure on the last series. Alex does have the Raging Royal Flush first, but it might be answered unless they go fast.
Sparker stays full HP here. They're both just trying to build ultimates, trying to find a solution, but Gen G, you know, right now they're gonna have that Royal Flush first. Are they able to get some momentum back in their favor? Yes, they are. Duet drops by. That's gonna be one here. Yeah, they're just gonna walk back and reset as a unit.
Slowly finding picks. I mean, if they stagger Nevix too, they want to disengage. You saw Sparker, so that's a little bit brutal to find even more staggers. But regardless, VP still have the time bank to work with, and we know that they're former champions and they're the reigning champions. So I imagine maybe they get past this choke point, but we've seen teams get held here for 4 minutes. Literally the playing stage.
We've seen it before. Will it happen again? I like this position here from Bobo. I don't even know how you get up here with Widow likely jumping from that completely destroyed building to the left, but there goes that commitment now. Saipe starting off, has to hide into Bobo. Tries to get that pick. Up goes the Meteor Ram, but Dredro finds that one with the clap through Duet, and that cannot be eaten by the Meteor.
Yeah, that's brutal. I mean, missing or getting taken out by the Luna Snow, and now you're up one in the fight for VP.
Sparker with 2, Finzi with 3, Sparker with 1. Come on now, Finzi. Just destroying and dismantling this team right now.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Destroyed.
Wow, look at the ults.
Yeah. Upcoming fight, VP, like you said, have all of the ults in the bank. Now, what does Gen G do, right? They do have Skittles in terms of his ultimate in the moment. No mag to counter it, maybe, but you can still stun and KO people with the vulnerability. The combination between Hitscan and Duelist players from VP has been beautiful.
Eyes on the Glartrox. Could be big here. Sparker peeling back line on the Zenstar. He's trying to stall for the moment. There goes some commitment to let the devil out. No answer yet besides the dance floor from Dredro. There is that Glartrox, and it finds value as FMCL goes down, and Virtus Pro are on a rampage at this moment. Sparker with another find. This could be point 2 here after this dance floor ends.
Clobbering time, Duet hit as well, can't be saved. Sparker with another, and it is just clinical, as you mentioned, Shiv. They move on to third phase with 4 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's like asking someone to play lefty and you find out they've been a lefty all along here. This map seems like Virtus Pro is just excelling. This is something they're not scared of. They are comfortable and they are walking through with 4
these guys
minutes
are
on
cooking.
point 3.
Wow.
They gotta stop. Maybe FMCL is going to bring it to them. This is the problem when you lose on a convoy. It can be very, very hard to come back on Convergence. Let's see if they can for Gen G. That pick from FMCL.
Especially on the second side like this, if they hold you here sometimes, then you'll be able to come back.
Dives in, let the devil out, gets matched. As Alex starts off the Raging Royal Flush. Nevix now gets the punch on Skittles, goodbyes, and Starry finds Dredro. Both of the Lunas are gone, but Alex falls, and Nevix now. FMCL takes out Saipe. Both of the backlines have been deleted.
Wow.
Be more of a who can find the next pick type game here.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of nice. They're playing
They're still
fast
pushing.
because VP is also
Even
playing
with
fast.
their
Understanding the
two
backline might
killers
be a bit vulnerable. But right now,